Good afternoon all. Yeah, nearly a printer stream. I just thought I'd put it there so you had something to watch while I was mucking around. How are you all? Can we see me? I don't know because I've not got the right camera. Let's switch, shall we? And hello. And move over a bit. Hello, Russy Russ, Chris, Squishy. Andy, hello. Yeah, so I'll just sit here a minute. I'm not going to rush straight into it. Good, I'm so glad. Let's move this over as well, I think. What else do I need to do? Probably. Let's go out from that bit, shall we? One of those. That's the edge of the table you can see, by the way. Hang on, let's move it around slightly. There you go. So yeah, today we will be taking this 3DS apart. We'll turn the light off so you can see what's going on. Basically, when I first received it, nothing was happening. The seller described it as not charging and not turning it on. And when I got it, I found it had no battery in. But when you put the battery in, what you get is, and you should get all of this hopefully, you get the blue light popping off. Now what it was doing before, but you can't really see it in this light, is the bottom screen was coming on briefly and flashing off. Generally that means that the top screen has had it. However, beyond that I've done nothing. I haven't taken anything apart other than put the battery in because I thought we'd find out now. So there we are. Hello James. Now, where are all my bits? Up there. I think that's the right bit. Let's just check. Might be too big. Or might be enough. This is my current screwdriver, by the way. It's not got the ball bearing in the top, but it does have the fiddly bit. And if you pull back one of these, and I can never remember which one it is, so don't laugh too much at this point. There you go. If you pull this forward, it does that, and you get an even longer one. Yes, this is a normal 3DS. Your run-of-the-mill first release 3DS. I did polish the front slightly just to get rid of some of the scratches. Complete with serial number and stylus. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. Got a couple of defects in it. Normal marks on the screen. When they first made these, they didn't make the buffers on the screen long enough, this bit here, this little rubber bit, so it comes down and touches on this ledge here. But other than that, not bad at all. So we'll start off by taking the back of the battery off. I'm rerunning the print, by the way, because I don't know if you can see it, we had a bit of a corner mismatch. It's supposed to be level. PLD's front print, so I re-leveled the bed and I'm trying again. Hello Mick, how you doing? Back off. There's your battery. and then we have about 7 screws. I think it is normal crosshead screws that this bit is too large for. Sorry, you should have 7 screws. We do in fact have is that no? Surely not. Surely I'm going blind. Hang on. No screw. No screw, no screw, no screw, no screw, no screw. No screw, no screw. There aren't any screws whatsoever in this back, which is encouraging. Hello AD. Hello Chris. So yeah, there you go. It's the instant take apart version. Oh, 1 screw. We've got the 1 screw here. Oh god, that's funny. But it does go to show that I haven't done anything. Let's take the screw up, put it up there. This is shoulder button ribbons. Get some light on the subject. There you go. Pico, how you doing? So let's zoom in a little bit. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. And what's the focus doing? Autofocus continuous. We could actually come down on the stand. Excuse me while I lean across everything. And then back away a bit maybe. What's this one going to do? There you go. I think that's a bit clearer. So here, this is your microphone, it's just in on a rubber buffer, headphone jack, this is your battery terminals, charging, obviously your game slot, this is your infrared board which comes off, this is the backlight 3D and sound ribbon cable that comes from the screen, or the cable that joins to the screen, and underneath that top one is the camera ribbon. Down here you've got the volume slider, obviously your joystick and your SD card which comes out, and then this proves that it's actually been gone any further than that, because despite the screws being gone, this bit of white tape here, which is still sticky, is original. This is what they did to keep the digitizer cables from coming off. And this obviously is a digitizer. This, like the DS Lite I was showing you, is the combined Wi-Fi stroke BIOS bit of the 3DS. There you are. You should just be able to see that. Oh my god! Don't look at my fingernails. Yep. And if I come back to OBS, put that on top, and then open up. No, that's the wrong screen, Chaz. Then I can see what I'm doing over there as well. It is a dinky little card, yes, absolutely. So, get that in shot, just about. Maybe, just maybe we'll come away slightly. There you go. So hopefully you should be able to see that okay. Hi Ozzy, how you doing? Sean? Oh, nice to see you. Okay, so we're going to start off by taking the joystick out, and these are all crosshead screws. There's nothing scary or tricky going on with any of it. These are the longer screws. The longest screws out of any that are fitted to it. 2 off. And then we just prised the joystick up. And then underneath, and amazingly they're in the right order, you've got 2 washers. You've got this black shiny one, and then underneath this textured white one, and that is the order they're supposed to go in. So it's white and then black. Normally you know if they're big on inside because people don't get the order right when they're putting them back together. So we'll take the joystick off, and we'll take the mic out. I'm going to get, just to make sure that I don't break the ribbon cable. Insert a pin in it and prise the rubber up. Like so. And then I'm also going to take that off just because when I'm turning the board over I don't want to risk breaking it. That's a lot of white light, isn't it? Oh no, that's not enough light. Oh well, you just have to put up with me looking like I'm in some sort of haze. But we're not looking at me, are we? We're looking at what I'm working on. So next we'll take the SD card reader cartridge out, and this is stuck to the shield underneath. He says nearly pulling the shield off. So at this point what I generally do is get good old IPA out. That screw's not going to come out for me. Without losing the screw this time, because we know what lost screws do. They get stuck in the slot later on and trip you up. And we'll get a good old IPA. And we're just going to put a little bit of IPA between the shield here. Just leave it for a few seconds. Yeah, been a while squishy, isn't it? And then I'm going to put my separator in between. A little bit more IPA. And gently insert and slide. Like so. And then what you end up with is that, and this is just a pull off connector, like so. Okay, and then in here there's 2 more screws which hold the plastic insert in. Squishy if you could just do the entertaining, and I'll just do the factual stuff. Am I going to be able to get that screw out, or is it going to be an afterwards thing? No. Try not to lift the shield up, by the way. In this case I'm doing it just so I can get the screw out, like so. And then put that back down. When, because obviously the 2 points of ingress for water, most of the ingress, are in the SD slot or in the games cartridge. Generally, if you get a lot of water in the games cartridge, it's game over, because the CPU and RAM are underneath this lot, and if corrosion gets in there, it's just not worth. Are these worth? Well, these were more worth fixing compared to the lights, yes. These are what I went to first of all after I stopped doing the DS lights, because A, I wanted to learn something new, and B, you were able then, because things have changed in such a short amount of time lately, to get them at relatively low prices, because a top screen, a bottom screen and a digitizer for this is about 10 quid all in all for all of it. So that's fairly cheap when you consider it's 15 quid just for the top screen on the DS Lite. It's not good. That really is awful, isn't it? So much light in there. No. Oh, we've all gone floppy. Hang on. It's a problem. That's too much light now. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm guessing it's just because they're much more popular. So then we take the digitizer cable out by flipping the latch up here. These are all flip up latches. There aren't any of the tricky ones they use later on the 2D SXL and the 3DS new ones. And then we'll take the bottom screen latch up and the backlight latch, which is this one here, up. Flip the cables out, put the latch back down so I don't break it, and then over to the sound, parallax and 3D slider off to the, if you can see that, let's just zoom in again. Has it switched cameras again? No, it hasn't. It's just not a good picture up close. So we'll come out very slightly. And yeah, back to OBS. Take the camera one out, flip the latch up. Again, these are all the same sorts of latches as the DS Lite, just slightly more fiddly. Put that latch back down there. And then we've got a few screws to remove. So we've done the 4 over here, and then there's 4 over here. Two, three, apparently I can't count, 4. Yeah, it's quite windy here as well. And then when you go to lift this up, providing I've remembered all the screws, they have a little bit of double-sided sticky tape underneath the charging port. So we'll see what it's like. What I'll do is I'll get it up so far. That's what she said. And then, without getting it on the screen obviously, just drop a little bit of IPA in there, down there. Where are we? Is where I've just put it. Give it a minute to soften. Hot glue. I'm going to open the console up at this point just to give us more ribbon, and then turn it over, and then here, well, I'm going to take the volume off as well for now, is the ribbon cable for the data for the top screen. Motherboard looks okay without looking at it under a microscope. Doesn't look like there's any corrosion there. Will it boot if top screen not connected? No. It won't boot if the top screen is not connected. It won't boot if the backlight is. In fact, sorry, let me reiterate. It will boot if the top screen backlight is connected. In fact, it will boot if the top screen and the bottom screen backlight is connected. It doesn't look at the data as part of its diagnostics check. It just looks to see if the backlights are there, and then will turn on, which is how people get them turn on but have a black screen. It'll also boot if the camera's not connected, but obviously if you try to go into the camera app, it will just crash it. Velcro. I'm just getting a spudger just to take all the buttons out, because we don't know what sort of cheese is under there and we might have to rectify that later. And when I ordered the parts, I ordered the screen, the camera ribbon and the sound ribbon, just to make sure that I had the spare bits I needed, because I do actually have some sound ribbons, and I did have a spare top screen, but when I put it away in the Ziploc bag to keep it safe, I put the zip of the Ziploc bag straight through the cable, through the ribbon cable, which was slightly upsetting. Okay, now you can see where the Wi-Fi aerial lead goes. It goes around here and along the notches and then down here. So our next move is going to be over here, and I'm going to take these corner buffers out, the rubber buffers. Hopefully I can get them out without destroying them. One, and two, without destroying them, Chaz, come on. Two buffers. Gozy, hello. And then I'm going to be a bit brutal. Once upon a time, I either would have tried heating this or using IPA. Where's the green one? Which does work, but it makes a mess, it takes time. So now the screen gets a chance, the screen cover. It either comes off whole and I can reuse it, or it gets a new one. It does feel like you're being quite brutal. That's probably because you are being quite brutal. I will have to use another one. I shall probably use a white one of these because they're all I've got spare. Because when I've taken it off, it doesn't look bad from there. But if you look, it was bent up. Those bits are visible. You should just be able to see that. It was stuck on well, and I'm thinking that's probably the first time it's being removed. So that's going in the bin. And then here, we have a multitude of screws. One, two, three, four. Look at me, I'm nearly running out of fingers. And then over here, five, six. And a common mistake when other people are putting them back together is there's a hole here and a hole here, as you can see, which the screws do actually fit in but aren't fitted in at factory. So they put these two in and all these ones up here and then think, oh, I've lost some screws. And you haven't. Yep, that's right. 2 holes. And after having done that, we should then, if I get my tweezers, not those tweezers, these tweezers, be able to just insert a tweezer in here and then just remove the back. Just lift it up, slide it very, very slightly, and the back comes off. That's the one, they see the holes and think they need screwing. Are you trying to take this in a bad direction here? Yeah, I'll just chuck that over there without showing you. This is the slider for the 3D, which will drop out when you take the top off, and will probably drop on the floor if you don't realise it's there, so don't lose that. And also, what's going on here? I've got one of the light pipes that's just dropped out. So I've got to remember where that went. Come down here, Chaz. Yeah, it's tiny. I wonder where that came from. Oh well, we'll suss it out. Right, and having taken that off, you can now flip it back over with it open and everything drops out, and push the light pipe through. Let me know if you can't see anything, which leaves you with the light pipe and the spacer. Light pipe goes in first and then the spacer goes in on top of that into here. After we've done that, I'm going to get yet another, what am I going to do? I might even use a pin, and we're going to put that in there and open up 3DS. So you've got closed and open to one click, and that's where you want it when you take the hinge out. It has to be in the second to last position, or it won't come out. Put this pin back because it's not working. We need to be a bit more brutal. So in here, and I don't know if I can show you. Let me go down to the microscope level. Actually, let me fire the microscope up first. Just talk amongst yourselves. Do. Wait for the microscope to wake up. Yep, fire the microscope up. And come in here, because I didn't remember to do the microscope first. Deactivate and activate. There we go, microscope. Goody goody. Okay, moving over to the microscope. Right, so, and it's only a small gap. If you can see in here, there's an ever small gap, just there, ever so small gap. And you're gonna, yes I did, Squishy, you're gonna insert your bit in there, and I'm not going to do this here because it's too difficult to, and then push the hinge across. This will not work if your top cover is still on, because the top cover has a bit that holds it in place. Don't ask me how I know. Small, yes, this gap is small. So pushed it across, it's now moved out, come all the way across here, and I can now start taking this bit out. And this is the bit that gets everyone fretting. You just need to make sure that this cable is out of the way. And then make sure this cable is out of the way. Did I mention that? Make sure this cable is out of the way. And then you need to feed everything through this gap. Come this way with it. And then just angling through. Come out like that. So we'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see the order that they come through in. Is you've got this, which is actually the last bit I put in. This is your, so your 3D slider, your sound, and your, I'm going to get there in a minute, 3D slider and backlight, the backlight feed. So if this is broken, then the top screen will not come on, you'll get the pop and off. But sometimes you won't get the pop sound. This is your camera ribbon. Obviously the thing will fire up without that until you go into there. And then this is the data cable for the top screen. We're just going to take it all apart now so I can look at them properly. PCDD. Let's try that again. PCDD. Hello. The dog just said hello. In fact, the dog went. Oh. So we're going to undo the slider knob over here. Little screw. Put that over there. And then we're going to, and this is the bit that Joey had a problem with on his XL, because these, once they've been in place for a while, where they're bent over sharply just there, just tend to separate from each other if you're not careful, or just because of their age. So you end up having to buy a whole new sound ribbon because of that. And then we'll take this out of here, we'll put some IPA in first. And we'll wait for a minute. There are so many small fiddly things on it, but I actually prefer working on these now to the DS Lites. I know that sounds odd. So now, hopefully it should be soggy enough. If it's not, I'll just replace it, I don't care. Right, yep, there you go. To come out. And then here, this is where the Sound 3D backlight ribbon joins to the screen. So we want to flick these up. And once you've got the hang of this, to be honest, it's much the same on the rest of them. You know, slightly different ribbon cable placements and things. Apart from the new 3DS, which the ribbon cable placements are very, very different on. And then just push the screen out. Like so. I'm going to remove this stuff because I'm not going to reuse it. I'll put some new stuff in. And then, where are we? Here, click time. So once that's out, I'm going to take the Wi-Fi aerial off. Wi-Fi aerial is over here. Cable comes down here, through here, down there, underneath the screen, along, and then through the ribbon cables. And again, ideally it's the last thing I put through, because it's got to go through the middle of the cables and it just gets in the way otherwise. So somewhere here, oh, there you go, it just stuck to the cloth and then pulled off at the bit where I said they get brittle at. So that's a new one of those. So we can take the cloth out the way for now. And then look around wildly for the hairpin that I just got out. There it is, stuck to the speaker, of course it is. Okay. So this cable, and again I did try to show Joey this once in screen. What I do is I get it and I press it between both fingers. I mean, I don't need to do it for this, I could have just broken it because I've got to replace it anyway, and just get a curve on it so that when I put it back it will come through behind the other ribbons. Like so, and out. And also don't put your speakers on until the thing's in place, because they grip on everywhere and just drive you mad. Yeah, it's a common thing as well. I've even done that with a van on the brake caliper. Went out, brought a new set of bolts because I couldn't find this one bolt and it was actually inside in the caliper. And then these, I probably won't be able to do this first time now, but this is one of the things I picked up on the internet. It's hair clip, just your normal hair clip. You wind the things up with it, and for me it was a bit of a top tip and a game changer. And then that brings them through, and you can do that obviously to put them through as well, and it makes things so much easier. Yes. So let's have a look at the cables and things. Let's see if we can spot anything awry. Back to the microscope. And what we'll do is we're going to connect the cables up to the board before I attempt to put it back in the case, much like I did with the DS, I think. Let's get some focus on that. We do have a bit of wear down here, but that doesn't look like it's it. Where's me tweezers? Where's me tweezers? These will do. So we're just going to come along, and normally if it's going to go, it will go either around here or slightly further up around here. And what happens is if you get moisture down in the hinge, it just tends to corrode and all the cables will stick to each other, particularly the camera ribbon, which has the black coating on it, and that just falls off. So that, to me, looks okay. Now, sound, backlight, 3D thingy. This is what I find now, is that they're all okay and there's something wrong with the motherboard. So, there you can see it now. Can you see that? Right there. So the screen is okay. It's actually the sound 3D and backlight cable. And as I said, the screen being shot won't stop it from booting. It's this cable and the backlight's failing that stop it from booting. So if the screen has faulty backlights, yes, it will stop it from booting, but not getting data does not stop it from booting. So it might even just be that cable we need to replace. That's the dog making a fuss. Right, I'm just going to fire the soldering iron up. And we'll take the speakers off of it. And also have a look at the camera ribbon cable, which from here at least looks okay, and no corrosion in the camera or the other cameras. No, all pretty clean, amazingly clean in fact. So yeah, that's okay. Yep. She's having a princess moment because I'm talking to someone else and not her. And this all looks okay. Let's go back to the other one for a minute. There we go. Okay, speakers. Again, much like the other one, not that you can see it from there because I've not got it on screen. We'll go back to scope again. You can see that they are labelled plus, and so you cannot, not unless you're really trying anyway, get that wrong. Plus and minus. Yes, so it might just be that cable squishy. In fact, it probably is just that cable that stopped it from working. Let's take the spacer off that speaker, put it over here, and again on the other side, I'm going to take it apart from here, and as you will see in a minute, it also has the designations on it. So again, plus and minus is also on there. What I tend to do when I get these cables and they're scrapped, especially on the 3D XL, because obviously there's nothing wrong with that, and the latches, which are also the same for the touch digitizer latch on the DS lights, and quite a few of the DS's use the same ones as well as the push fit ones. I take them all off and just put them in a spares pot so I can reuse them rather than throwing them. And on the 2012 version, the 3DS XL, this cable, the what is the 3D slider switch here on that model is in fact the same as the volume knob on the 2DS XL. So you can use those to repair them, because quite often what happens, hello Maddie, Maddie says hi, back to the dog. Quite often what happens when they put the 2DS XLs together, if you don't get the knob in the right place at the bottom casing, when you put them together, it snaps this off, and it's game over. You have to resolder a whole new one on. And I have tried taking these apart, putting a new slider in from something else, and it's just not worth the hassle. It never feels right. So yeah, anyway, keep your spare parts basically. So over here somewhere, I say somewhere, I know exactly where they are. I have two spare, we'll go back to your overhead. I'm not even taking them out of the bag yet. I have two screens, which I don't think I'm going to need. Two new cameras, again, which I don't think I'm going to need. And one new ribbon cable assembly. So I'm going to put the screens back in there for now. We'll connect the ribbon cable assemblies back up to the screen, and then connect that to the board and see what happens. Not from the same shop squishy. Basically, most of the time I just go by whatever's cheaper. You always need to make sure, though, read the writing carefully, because sometimes they're ones that they've pulled, and when you get sent them, they've got rust and everything on them, and in those and sometimes water stains on the screen. And I've had to send a few back because of that in the past. So I just tend to be a bit more careful now. MK or Martin. Oh, that's interesting. They've got different latches on. Right, okay. Anyway, so new cable, which you can't see. So I'm going to put the latches back on this. Which I can't see. Hang on. Why don't I bring them over here? They are teeny. I'm going to go to the scope. Teeny tiny. I didn't think they were only on it to start with. I thought they were missing. But they are there. One day you too could have eyesight like me. Am I doing that from the right side, I wonder? There's my other one. Because you can flick these, it doesn't matter. I can break these ones. I'm sure it's from that side. That's why I confidently did it when I was... Yeah. Just give me a second, peoples. No, yeah, okay, it's from the other side. Momentary lack of cohesion. 1, 2, like so. Teeny, yeah, Christmas tree. Yeah, you don't want this Christmas tree. So it comes round this way, and we're off screen again. Hello. Where are we? And then we'll just get that one out of the way. So obviously I'm not going to rush, I'm just going to take my time because no need to. And then guide this over here. Now again, bear in mind the being watched bit again. So we all know that this is going to take longer, especially if the latch is sharp like that. And the funny thing is, I've got a great big screen over here to look at. And what I'm looking at is the piece on the table. This is not as difficult as I'm making it look, I promise. I really do think lately, there you go. You can see that the ribbon cable, you should be able to see it just about, doesn't go all the way up, it just goes part way in. That's one. Get the latch open. He says as the latch closes again. Come over here, you so and so. Okay, now hopefully that should, there they go. And again, as you can see here, it doesn't go all the way up. It just goes that far. So when you're working on them, first of all, when you're doing it first, you tend to think that it should go all the way to the end, and you spend ages and ages and ages, and all you do is fold up the end of the ribbon cable, wreck the cable, and have to order another one, and then you finally suss onto it. Well, that was my journey anyway. Yeah, so we've got that on there. We want the top screen down here. We want the board, and we want the Wi-Fi stroke BIOS chip. There, and we're also going to want the battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the Wi-Fi chip back on. Scene. So we're going to put the Wi-Fi chip back on. Am I getting it the right way? No, we're not going to put it on that way, peoples. That will be entirely the wrong way. So again, we don't need to connect the camera ribbon cable up yet, but we do need to connect the backlight stroke 3D stroke sound, which is the one that failed. And we will connect the data one up as well. And I always get a little bit lost at this point. I have to remind myself just how it goes. Because that's going to come up towards you, that's going to come up there. So, oh yeah, turn the soldering iron off, like that. Okay. So, It's stuck in my head now. That way. Come on, Chaz. Come on, Chaz. You can do it, peoples. Momentary indecision. And then we're going to put that back in there. I may have put that one in the wrong way. I cannot actually remember at the moment. This is obvious which way it goes up. After it's gone through and come up in a loop, this line is actually where you're going to fold it, and then that comes across and goes into the backlight slot. If you can see that with my giant hands in the way. Oh, okay, the print's finished. I wonder if it's any better than the last one. Some days I can put these in with my fingers. Sometimes my fingers are all thumbs. Come on. And again, you have to be careful, because if you bend the pins in here, unless you've got a microscope, you're in for a world of hurt. What's a good price for a broken 3DS? It depends. If you want it for yourself, I normally sell them on. Yeah, that's exactly it. They do hold good money broken, but I normally sell mine fixed about 65 quid. Whether any of you think that's right or wrong, I don't know. But for me, around 35 quid is the sort of money I look at, given that I'm selling them for 65 quid, given that I have to work on them and buy the new bits, etc, etc. And then we're going to connect the bottom screen up. The only trouble with, if you're too eager at buying them at the low price, just take a good look at the pictures, because in the past I bought ones that have been severely water damaged, and that kind of thing will show up around the battery contacts, and if they've got the view from the back of the charge connector, around, as I said earlier, around the SD and the games cartridge slots. If you see any signs of corrosion there, or they show it with the back off and there's corrosion around the securing screws, just run away. Okay, so we've got that in place, and then positive on the battery to the outside, lifting up, and pressing the switch when we find it again. Something assault, let's do that again. Okay, so it could well be that I've not put that bottom one in the right way. Take the battery off. The trouble is, when you're doing this, I'm sure it doesn't go around that way, but we'll see in a minute. When you're doing this by yourself, you just use finger memory and stuff like that, and it just goes. When you stop and pause and you're talking to people, looking at what you're doing, it kind of interrupts the flow. That says no. No chance you're not doing this right, is what it says. You can try and push me on, but no way am I coming on with that there, because that's in the wrong place and you were right to start with. All of that without actually saying anything, which is quite clever, I think. So we have, where's the back? Let's just get the back, get that off of there. What is that stuck to? You wouldn't, honestly, you couldn't make things up. That off of there, and then the back like this. No, you fool. The back goes with this round that way, and this that way drops through on there. Okay, that is the back of it, and then this is going to be like this, and it's going to come up round like so. And hello, I'm mad. Really, are you? Yes, I am. 2 seconds, peoples. It does, yes. And generally, I don't go for the smaller ones anymore. Hence, yeah, again, no, there's one of the bigger ones. I'm just referring to my references. Console, Nintendo 3DS. Like I said, I'm doing it by myself, no problems. And then the moment I go on air, my head just says well, you can. The only thing with the big uns is that, in my experience, they suffer more with hinge problems. They tend to crack around the back of the hinge. Obviously, it's a bigger screen, more pleasant to look at. Yeah. Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. No, we're going the wrong way. I'm just looking at my photos at this point. And as you'll guess, when you're looking at the photos, you can never find the ones you want. Yeah, we're just going to ignore that. I am sure that one does not go in. People, can you tell me what I have done, and I'll give you a hint? No, it's not. That's not a hint. I haven't done anything. I am second guessing myself. I took 2 out. That is one of the 2. Screen does go the other way around. I'm telling you. But it's good that I can argue with myself over it. Come along, in there, come on, in.
Seems fair, you're always arguing with me.
Mrs. said, that seems fair, you're always arguing with me. Right, now stop mucking around. Now we're looking for a green light. We have a green light, you can't see it, hang on. Green light is there, that's the 3D light, come on. Everything's gone off because I just let go of the battery. Let me put that in the back so that it holds it in so you can see what's going on. Okay, so battery, again this all looks like a bit of a mishiver just for this, but I'm just proving the point. Okay, let's hope I don't damage any ribbon cables doing this. Right, pressing on, the battery is a bit flat apparently. We've got the red light, and then we're waiting for the green light, which is around somewhere, and there you go. Both screens. So what we need to do now is put it all back together again. So it was the sound cable, which is good. Theoretical, and I hate to say this words because it'll come back to bite my backside, a theoretical easy fix. Now if we can just get all this apart without wrecking it, that would be good. Okay, that one, that one. Okay, top screen, bottom screen and board can go over there. That one can go over there because we don't need that. That one, not that one, not that one, not that one. This is the one we want. There you go. What is Little Britain? It's a TV show, yeah. I'm a lady. PCDD was talking about this yesterday. With all my lady bits. No, really. Oh, it's quite a funny place. David Williams and Matt Lucas. Thank you, Mandy. Yes. Oh. There goes that sense of sarcasm. Right, I'm just going to get some tape. David Can, hello, welcome in. Welcome to the madness. So we're just going to put some new tape on. Skizzers. And some more tape. And guess what? Yet again, big bag of oh no, that's an expensive loss. Is that because they just haven't gone anywhere with the tracking, or have they actually said to you, oops, we've lost this? Is that? No, that's rubbish. I'm taking that off again, peoples. It's going to be all over the screen. Has been 7, yikes. Is that, you sure that's not anything down to the Christmas rush or anything? Wrong country and wrong person. If they're anything like our post office, MK, they could have thrown them in your bin and claimed that they delivered them to a safe place. Final bit of tape. What I'm not going to do is stick it down until the ribbon cables are through. So, first thing we're going to put back on, but the last thing we're going to feed through is the Wi-Fi card, because that has to go underneath the screen. Not that you can see any of this because it's not on the screen. Wi-Fi card, which I'm sure I'll remember in a minute. That way. Oh my gosh, Chaz. There is no pressure. There is no spoon. There is no spoon. That's because I've got it the wrong way, people. He says hopefully. If at any point you realise what I'm doing, just let me know, okay? Okay, no we're not. This is not the wrong way. Chaz is going a little bit mad. It's on this side, and I have gone down here, goes along here, through there, like that. There you go. Momentary nerves, that's all it is. I was testing, yeah. Testing to see if you notice I was falling apart and that I was putting it in the wrong place. And then there's a groove along the bottom. and it slides along that. But like I said, I'm not going to feed it through yet until I've got the ribbon cables through. And if it annoys me too much, I might even take it out again. So we've got your screen ribbon, and I'll do this separately just for the...
Having a Basil Portal moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do these separately just to prove a point that it's possible to do it separately, and therefore make it much harder for myself. Okay, so what I don't want to do is take them through there but not put them through the barrel. Where have I put the barrel? I chucked it up there because it dropped out of my lap and rolled across the floor. There it is. Okay, put the barrel back through. That's it, drop the bobby pin. Put that back through there. Realise you're blind and you did in fact actually miss it. Wind it around a couple of times. Feed the barrel over, pull the cable through. Okay. So we have this one cable. We're not going to put this one through yet. This actually folds across or folds under. And we'll go like that eventually. So the next bit we want is the camera. And again, I'm just going to take the sound one out of the way. Camera cable. Now remembering that the camera cable needs to come out on top. So I'm going to put the bobby pin, hopefully, and again I could take both of these through at the same time, but sometimes if you know what the fault is, you don't have to take everything out. Doing that just complicates the matter. And had I known that the sound cable was the only fault, I could have just taken it out quite easily and replaced it with the other one, but when it's all hidden in the hinge, you can't see all that. And now I'm just going to struggle with this just for everyone's delight. Through there. And what I would normally do at this point is I'd have this slightly off the edge of the table, but obviously if I do that it's going to come out of picture, so we won't. And then if I can do it correctly, probably not come through. There you go. So this is going to end up on top of the screen. Okay, and then the final bit here is this cable. And if you remember what I said, this is going to come down around and up the back of everything here, and I am going to just fold the cable over so that it matches the curve of the barrel. And when I find my other tweezers, these ones, then I can stop shaking, Chaz. Push that through there like that, and then there's normally just enough room. Is that in there? Can't tell. To get that, bring it through there, he says. Hopefully you can all still see that, because it's a bit of a mess. Like so, and then it will pull through like this. So that now comes up the back of it all, like this. And then like this. Okay, so we can take the sticky bits off now. Oh, I'm glad you noticed, Squishy. I thought it was easy. Oh, I'll tell you what we will do before I forget. We will just feed the Wi-Fi aerial through. Like so. But you can see now why when I go back to the DS lights with just the one cable, all of a sudden you're thinking, well, this isn't so bad. The big problem with any of them though is getting your lens back over your screen without involving dust or hair. As I'm sure that Swindon will agree. Okay, we're now going to stick this one in place. Okay, now the screen is in, the aerial is on. Not a cloud to spoil the view when it's raining. And then I'm going to put this down here, because that one we can put in place and still solder the speaker to. Camera, make sure the speaker is fed through to the right place so that it all comes across like this. This is going to end up over here, and then this, which is an LED, is your flashlight, if I remember rightly. It's going to come up here, so we want to just put it in place, put it in place roughly for a minute. I will put some sticky down in there in a little while, although it should actually hold itself in there just with the tags on the edge, but you know, aftermarket and stuff. And then again just fold this at the back like the other one was, and then I need some tape. When Joey did his DS XL, 3DS XL, it was this flash bit that broke on his, and he didn't have another one, so he just put it back together without it, if I remember rightly. But it sold for charity, so that didn't affect a thing. And it is only a flashlight, and let's face it, how often are you going to be relying on the cameras and these things? They're not exactly very good, are they? Now, if I can just grab a hold of that. Do you know what? Just for the string. Normally what I do is I chop these all down to about a third length so that it looks nice and neat. But I'm just going to stick it in place because, you know, we don't need to take too long over this. And I handle the tape with tweezers, because if you get your hands on this stuff, it just doesn't stick afterwards. Hot glue. Worms behave. Yeah, I don't want to press that down yet. I will regret it if I stick that down because I need to solder on the back. That would be a bad moment. Okay. Come on, soldering iron. Do it. You can do it. Thank you. Lukewarm glue. Solder. Oh look, blobby. It's not quite up to temperature yet. And then this side. You don't actually need to look at the polarity once you know where the speakers go, because it's obvious from the positioning of the speaker. You're mumbling, Mr. Mott. There's not enough flux on that. And some on there, like so. That's better. And then some more over here. Oh look, 2 separate blobs instead of 1. Much better. Apparently needs hot glue. So then we will find the speakers again. That's a rubber buffer, put that down. And at this point, I will come under the microscope. No, I'm going to position it under the microscope. Shut up. Don't even do it. MK Stretch. Oh gosh, I'm blushing. Oh, no dry spots, no. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Is Bodger still in channel? I do hope not. Oh God. Oh yeah, of course he is. Yeah, of course he is. Damn it. So this speaker has to go this way, so when it comes over here, oh, you can't see that, of course. I'm still blushing. Feel my cheeks, my face cheeks. You stop it! Look at me up. I've got my mouth open. Oh, for goodness sake, Mandy. Yes, exactly. Okay. And then hopefully, because I've lost all sensibility now. Was that on a plus? It was, yes. Okay. Is it time to end the stream yet? No. Okay, fine. I just dropped something. I haven't got a clue what it was. The altitude of the wires. Oh, look. I don't even want. Hang on, let's have a sip of my tea.
Yes, I know.
Are you talking to Maddie?
Think of that when she spotted herself and packed your doors again.
Yeah, probably. Let's put this bobby pin out of the way. I know Maddie's saying something now. Right, I can't actually find where I put my speaker spaces. Very, very carefully the way I say that. The spaces for the speakers. Not the rings, the spaces.
This is serum reflector.
Yeah. That is my ever-intelligent dog looking at herself in the window because it's got dark here.
Laura, it's you want.
Intelligence beyond belief. Right, I'm having to get some more. We'll go back to the other one again. Overhead. I'm going to get some more spacer rings out because despite me having put them down just here, they're not just here anymore. I also start screaming a big aggressive one of some.
Scary dog's gone away.
MK says he also starts screaming and being aggressive when he sees himself in the mirror.
Get off, Flora. So no, let me save you from the big scary dog.
Oh God.
It wasn't actually outside.
Right, where am I? I've lost all sense of direction now. Oh, what am I doing? Right, let's try and ease this tape back off again. I've got a really small one. Alright, put the speakers back in. That was such a vivid vision, MK. I could actually see it. Like those moments when you forget that you've got older and you just get up, stroll over to the mirror to brush your teeth or whatever, and you look in the mirror and think, who's that? Oh, do behave yourself, right? Okay, I'm going to stick you in place first. If you're not going to behave. Yeah, it's the kind of Christmas tree we specialise in. The weird looking ones. The weird looking ones, the overvoltage ones, the different LED ones. The ones with the missing caps. The ones with the hot glue. Where's my sticky tape? Oh, MK, get out of my head now. And then we'll stick this down. He says, trying to recover composure. And get another piece of tape. Sit. Oh no, really? No. 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 And it starts. Oh, there's a laugh again. Right, okay. put that out of the way. We're going backwards again. Right, okay. So this is, no, it's not disassembly complete yet, because what I have forgotten to do is to put the small screw back in the board holding the slider knob down, which we will do forthwith, like so. And then I need the scissors, and I need to cut a little bit of Captain tape off, and at that point, hopefully, providing it's all behaving itself, I will put a little bit of tape over the front, hopefully just holding the front screen and camera cables together, and that in theory should make it easier to feed it back through the bottom hinge panel, which I put over here for safety and then completely forgot that's where I put it. Now this is the bit where you have to be careful, because everything can fall apart while you're doing it, especially if you've got it up the wrong way. You can't see yourself now, the curtain's pulled. What are you barking for? No, straighten up a bit more. You can't see this because I have that up in the middle of the air. So we're feeding the Wi-Fi cable down through, like so first. And then, make sure we're in the middle here. And then it might all get a bit fuzzy now, trying to do this bit. You're going to feed the long cable through first. It's got a bit of tape on it, holding it to the other cables. Okay, so that then puts us here and enables us to pull the rest of the cables through like that. Chilling, relaxed, mixed dog was barking. Okay, once we've got to this point, we then want to put the top back on, provided we've got everything in there. Not forgetting there's a little bit of rubber with a light pipe that goes here as well. Here. Oh look, there's a piece of 3D print strand, excuse me. I'll just get that out of the way. And then that goes in that hole and locates just there. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then turn it over, and theoretically let's angle it from the back. No, Chaz. No, Chaz, and no. What have I not done? This bit's easy. I have not put the hinge back in place yet. So you're going to open it up to roughly about the same point, and then putting pressure on the hinge barrel with it resting on the table, you're going to try and find, and I'm leaving myself open to comments here, you're going to try and find the sweet spot. And there you go. So it's in place. I did get a comment from the wife, by the way. It just wasn't audible.
I said front and centre.
Front and centre was the reply, apparently. It's where's it gone? That's what she said. So we need to come back a bit. It's very difficult to actually show you guys. There There you go. So that's where it should be when it's back in properly. Stop it. And then once we've done that, then we can shut that. And then we can put the top case back on. And it will locate properly, like so, and clip together. And at that point, then your screen and speakers are not going to fall apart and go everywhere. And we'll get the rag back to protect the top. If it's too close or too far away or whatever, just let me know, people. And we'll put the screws back in the top to stop it from dropping around. Dropping around? How would it drop around? I think drop around may not be what I was trying to say. It always amazes me when I look at these streams back afterwards. And it's like 2.5 hour streams. And I think, just how? Dropping off, that's the one, thank you. I have a limited dictionary. Vocabulary is the word. How long would this take if I wasn't streaming? About half the time at least. Unless there's something wrong. In which case it's take it apart, put it back together again, take it apart, put it back together again, and that's a pain in the backside. Which is why I always try now to check most of it before I put it back together again. My wife did once suggest to me that I make a list and check it as I was going through it. That just seems too easy, really. Too sensible. I'm not going to put the lens on because I need to get this absolutely clean, and that can take ages, so we'll just assume I'll show you what is going to go on it, because it's all I have. Three of these left and no black ones, so it's going to where are we? It will have a white front on it instead. Thanks, Russie. Okay. Let me shut. You can leave it open. Actually, you need to leave it open so that you have the maximum extension on these cables. And we'll just take this tape off again. And motherboard, which I'm going to take the screen off again for now. Like so. And then we're going to feed the wire back along here. So it's going to come along this. We're going to hear my dog slurping on a piece of antler. Along this groove here. Which you probably can't. Oh, yes, you can. You can see enough. Good. And sometimes if it doesn't stay in there, I do put a bit of tape along it. Especially if you end up taking it apart many times because it's not worked properly. Yeah, we'll just pretend it's all going really well at the moment. Down in there, through these slots, again, here, again, here, again, here. and then down the edge of this bit, which there are also pins to locate it on. Bear in mind, if you take the board back off and forget about disconnecting the Wi-Fi board from the board, everything comes off with it and it pulls this wire all the way out again. Which, if you're short or absent-minded like I am, can be a regular thing. Yes. Yeah, but I'd forget to look at the list, wouldn't I, if I wrote a list?
Cheat sheet.
Cheat sheet. Okay, so the buttons and everything, I noticed, were all quite clean on this. There's no finger cheese whatsoever. Same as the DS, the Y goes next to the screen. A doesn't go above, so it goes there. This is how I remember it. I know weird. B does go below. Power button. X marks the spot, or not. Get in. Thank you. And then the membrane, like so. Power button membrane. In there. And then the membrane for the left right bit. D-pad even, like so. Now, board. Okay, not yet, Chaz. And then we want to put the light pipe in here. Let's switch to the scope for this bit, I think. Yee! Let's move the scope over a bit. Don't want to be balancing on the edge of the table. Okay, so this does go in, and you will see in a minute when I can put it in focus. Oh, I just found one of the speaker rings, that's nice. Is that right? It's not even right, I don't think, because I couldn't see it. Excuse me a minute while I take that back out. Okay. The cutout goes there and lines up with that tab just there, and then the plastic piece comes over the top of it, goes over the top of it, and locates like that. And the only thing that keeps that bit in is the board. So you have to be a bit careful. What I don't understand is where that little light pipe that dropped out earlier on goes. At the moment I cannot see where it dropped. Oh yes, I can. That little light pipe earlier on is supposed to be here for the front, so we will put that back in as well. Hello Carfor, welcome in. And let me see if I can get this in without dropping it, pinging it. Oh no, I just did ping it. As you can see, it's very, very small. And that goes there. So, oh, there it goes again. And the old is over here. Yeah, okay. Ping. I lost it again. Come on, you can do this. You've got this, it's not a problem. Just so you know, these bits never drop out. I've never had one of these come out unless it's actually forced out. Most of the cases and things that I throw away, I don't bother recovering them from, because normally you have to wreck them to remove them. So I'm just flabbergasted. Is it in place properly? That dropped out in the first place. What I think I will do, and I'm going to take the power button back off. That's our next door neighbour doing something, and the dog announcing it.
Shut up, Laura.
Where are we? We're back here again. Is use some of my resin, which I have to dig for, and the 3D printer is right in front of. Come on, out, out, out. Yeah, as I said, normally they're one with the case. I'm quite surprised it came out, but it is quite loose. I think maybe they've broken the top black bit over it. So we will get a little bit of resin. Like so. You can't see this obviously because I've just... And then just what I normally do is I've got the resin and I put a little bit on top of the cardboard. That's fine the first time you do it, but when you've got multiple bits of set resin all over the board, over the cardboard, I put it on there and then instantly forget where I've put it, and ended up jabbing all the bits that have gone off until I get to the bit that I need. And UV lamp. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's gone off, that's enough. Love that stuff. Oh, no, and then what I need to do, because if I don't do it, I will put my fingers in it. Where's the even gone? Well, yeah, I suppose hot glue would work. I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't be able to do it without getting the hot glue everywhere else. But if you're clever with it, then yes. Okay, that's the stuff on the box gone off as well. Now I can put the resin back in the box and put the box away safely. It's also a good, if you've actually lost this bit, if you put tape along the front there and then just fill that up with resin and make it go off, it would still do the same job as long as it's a clear resin, obviously. And I have done that on one occasion, I think, where I didn't have any other choice. So we are back here again. Hopefully you can still see okay. So this is here. We're going to put the power button back in again. If we can flip it over, because sausage fingers. Just talk amongst yourselves again. I'll tell you what, if I ever do edit these videos to make them into shorter sort of instructional ones, I'm going to have to edit an awful lot of just talk amongst yourselves out. but I want these videos out there as well so people can see just how fiddly it is. So when they try to do one for the first time, or the second, or the third, you can see that it isn't as easy as some of the videos make it look. Let's see, volume. I'm just putting the volume knob back in. Sorry. Let's plug that back in again. I bet you are clipping them. I bet you're clipping them like mad. Right, okay. So the bottom screen is back in. What we need to do now is to attach. Let's put that cable back in place properly. Dry mouth syndrome. And then hopefully without scratching the top case, we need to put the top screen ribbon in. Sometimes what I do is I connect the sound cable up and the camera cable up and then flip it and put this one in. The only problem with that is that I've done that, put everything back together and completely forgotten about the fact that I haven't reattached the top screen, which is kind of counterintuitive. So this, yeah. And then, so after we've done that, obviously we then want to put the camera latch up. And again, it's easier to see the camera latch if you've got a microscope or so on. It does make it so much easier. We're going to bend and fold this bit over here along this white line. So that it then comes a little bit more neatly along here. And come on, in there. Come on, you know you want to. No, actually we need to straighten that out slightly. And push it in. Okay. Any minute now. Any minute now. Let's turn it around slightly. I have a feeling that my working angle is not the best. And also that it's not yet straight. Really, come on. Hopefully. Oh, hang on. Hopefully that's all the way home now. Yes. This is going to come up here. Oh, Pitco, how you doing? Oh no, sorry cows 2. MP4 is my favourite so far. Uh-oh. I am going to put a couple of screws in and then just make sure that it all switches on okay again. Oh, by the way everyone, I have just remembered at this point that I've put the top casing on, completely forgot to put the slider knob in. So I'll be taking that off again.
Cheat sheet.
Also make sure, I'll get this under the microphone. No, I won't get it under the microphone. I'm thinking fit the microphone, but I won't get it under the microphone. Make sure when you're putting it back together that this is on this side. That's your Wi-Fi on-off switch, and quite often what happens is people will either put it back in on the wrong side of, or they'll come down and drop it on top of the black bit and again break that bit off. Hello Stu, how you doing? So at this point I'm just going to hold it in place before I put anything else on. Find out where the heck I put the battery, because I don't have a clue. I really don't have a clue where I put the battery. Is there in fact a battery anywhere here? Battery. Aha. I only found it because I went to have a sip of tea. Cup of tea. What's going on, man? Right, battery in place. Holding it all on. Let's see if it goes on. Coming back to the main screen and zooming out a bit. Okay, back to OBS chat. Turn the light off. Press the button. And the button says the battery is almost flat. Oh, and we have a... Oh, I'll tell you what have I not done? I'm just going to leave it there. And you can tell me what I've not done. Let me make it a bit fairer for you. What have I not done? Stupid man. Right, you know those tweezers I had around? There's some, that'll do. And they'll, yep, excellent. Once again, around the floor around me, looks like something out of a horror movie. Okay, data cable. And then the backlight cable. Okay, hopefully and I might even have to, I wonder where my charge cable is. There. Let's plug the charge cable in, because one, that'll let me know it's charging, and two, we'll have enough voltage then. Okay, back to overhead and zooming out. Now hopefully this time, oh, I'll let go of the battery obviously because it stopped charging as well. Blue light, green light, screens. And I'll let go of the battery again. Right, we'll just do that one more. Okay. Power on, blue light here. Blue light is staying on. The backlights have come on. Green 3D lights come on up here. And all the screens are on. It will do that. The world flicking backwards and forwards. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Okay, well let's do that again. No, we can't do that because I haven't connected the digitizer up yet. So, he's faking it, yeah. So when you turn it on, first of all you get the blue light here with the charge light is alongside it. Then you'll see the backlights come on very, very faintly. Green light up here sometimes because there's sometimes a delay. and then the screens will come on. The world flicking up and down here is because I haven't yet connected the joystick. Yeah, so it is all working so far, so we'll continue to put the screws and things in and pray that it continues to do so. Okay. Yeah, I do have Streamlabs running, I just don't have anything running on it, and I need to know how to get it to run in Chan properly. I need to spend some time looking at it and not looking at it for 10 minutes getting frustrated. Okay, we're connecting the Wi-Fi aerial back up, and then there's a little clip here. God, you can't see that either. Back through. Okay, it comes out of there, and then there's a teeny clip just here, and the cable goes into that. That's the theory anyway, like so. And then you plug the Wi-Fi board in. Back to the other scene before I forget again. Okay, and then we'll zoom in a little bit just so you can see a teeny bit more, like so. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, okay. Screws. We need to put the 4 screws back in here. That's 2. That's not the screw, that's a silver one, because all the screws that go in on the board on this side are gold coloured. Oh look, I just dropped it. Let's try that again. Like so. Should be one more gold screw around here somewhere, or I'm going to have to start digging. Strangely enough, both of the speaker rings I can now see, because I don't need them anymore. I know exactly where they are, which is nice. 3D calibration cube. That's the silver one again. I could pick that up again if I really wanted to, but I don't. Is it stuck to the speakers? No, it's not. Silver one again. How many times am I going to do that? Okay, screws. Excuse me a minute while I look for screws, peoples. Oh, here they are. Again, just pull them out on the edge of the... While I search frantically through for the right screws. I think that's one there. Because if you get this bit wrong, what you end up doing is poking out the front of the 3DS, and it does not look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one back out that I've put in and just check it. And if you look at it, it's actually slightly bigger, slightly longer. That would be one that would go through and damage it. So we do not want to use that one. Or we're going to cut it. One of the two. What's that, Chaz? You're mumbling.
No good.
No good. Can't hear you. Yeah. Sorry. Labyrinth. I don't know how many of you have watched Labyrinth, but there's a bit where she comes to two doors. She doesn't know what door to go through. Oh, just... And one of the knockers has got the swing piece in his mouth, and the other one hinges from his ears. So the conversation between the two is really funny. It's a yes, Labyrinth. Yeah, of course. It's a film with David Bowie and what's her name?
Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer Connelly. And oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Where's that gone? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I just flicked that screw somewhere. I think that might be it. General rule of thumb is if you're putting it in there, yeah, that's not right, and it doesn't feel right, it's not. Just got to snort from the wife again. See, now all this time when Andy was on stream, I thought he was doing the double entendres on purpose, and turns out that really isn't the case. In a kind of oh bother way. Right, okay, that's okay. That will do. That will do for that. So next we want to put the volume in and line it up. And I'm sorry you can't see this very clearly, but basically there's just a slot that you have to line the volume up with. You might be able to see it. You probably could if I zoomed in. I'm sure there's probably a way of doing this from OBS, but I have to keep going back to DroidCam and making sure so it lines up with this slot here. And then we're going to turn that round like that and get the washers. So as I said earlier, it's the white one first and then the black one. Just about there. Joystick is not going to go on yet because what I want to do is just plug the SD card reader in, because it becomes a bit of a mare when you've got the joystick in. So that's on there roughly. And then we'll put the joystick in. And this slot is keyed. If it's not in the right position, let's try again. This slot is keyed. If it's not in the right position, the joystick will not go in. Let's take those off and show you. Take 3. This slot is keyed, as you can see. It needs to be around that sort of orientation. Can't see chat at the moment because I've got DroidCam up instead of OBS. And then when you've done that, just turn it over and check that that's central, because it's really easy to not put it in the right place. Okay, coming back to zooming out. And there's the screws all over the place. See? It looked so tidy a minute ago. In OBS. So that's your SD, that's your games. So now we need to put the long screws in. And the other one. these are the only screws, when you look at it, it's absolutely obvious because they are just the longest screws in the set. And I've got screws in the way everywhere now. The infrared board we might as well put in because it's down by my fingers. And then we're going to flip the games cartridge, no, the SD cartridge back out of the way a minute. Find the screws for that. Put the plastic bit back in. Or the plastic spacer, stroke slidey bit. Stroke slidey bit. Do not clip that. Oh, there goes the screw. Oh, for goodness sake! I didn't realise it wasn't on screen before. But okay, fair enough. Okay, and then this one here. And then this back over here. So there's the two black screws that go in the black plastic bit, and then the two medium length gold ones that hold the cartridge in. Although actually they don't really do a very good job. So there's every possibility that I might end up. I don't think they're the right screws actually. But I shall probably put some resin in those. No, that's not the right one, Shaz. They're not right. They are just not right. That's why it fought me before. Because someone stripped the screws going in there. Where are we? Here. Hot glue. No. No, resin. Resin's my new best friend. Before resin it was super glue and baking powder. Before super glue and baking powder it was hot glue. Until, because Mandy always argued with me, I always said that hot glue was excellent for everything. And she said no, she said hot glue, if you leave it long enough it will fall off. And I didn't believe her. I used it for a number of things, and okay, if you take your time over it, you heat the plastic up that it goes with and maybe even mix them together, it's okay-ish. But as we've now seen in quite a lot of streams, they're both rubbish. It comes off so easily if you get any kind of solvent in between it and what it's supposedly bonded to, even if you've keyed that surface up. Well, yeah. So we're going to pretend they're in properly for now, okay? Because I'm going to redo that. I'm not going to redo that now. It will just take too long. And put the microphone back in. And look for my tweezers. Now this bit, and I will zoom in here, it's counterintuitive. I'm going to drop that off of there in a minute. Let's put the table in slightly. There. Sorry, it looks quite grainy. But the cable is actually bent over itself, so you have to not put the microphone in place until it's in the plug. Then shut the latch. And then put the microphone in. Yeek! Like so. And then again we will just put the back screen on. No, we're not going to put the back screen on, Shaz. We will just put the back case on temporarily because I will have to take it out. Oh, by the way, Did you notice that? I was looking around for the battery earlier. The one I found was actually off of another one. This one was still in the back cover. So we'll just put the shoulder buttons on for now. And this one under here, which you can't see, is actually quite fiddly. And you have to remember these ribbon cables, you have to remember when you undo this back case to flip it up like this, because if you pull it up, they'll just break. That's the end of it. You have to get new ones. Okay, now you've got screws here, 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 and then a silver screw in there. I'm not going to bother doing that on stream again because I've got to find them all because they didn't come with it. And then obviously you've got the battery cover which goes back over that, but that's easy because that just slots in like this, and then the screws, 4 screws up here. So we will just check that it powers up. It's not happy. Okay, now something's not right there. I've not connected the joystick up, have I? That's why. Good job I didn't screw anything down, really. Okay, so we will... That's an amuse myself job part. We'll take that off. Because you have to at least see it working, even if you don't see it with all the screws in. Okay, that. Take the back cover off. Take these off because otherwise they break. Yes, that's right. No, you don't. And what I forgot to do before I put the joystick on, and I will regret it because I've got to take it off again now, is connect this cable. The way everything drops apart. Come on, get back in. Alright, let's get the joystick out. Joystick out. It's when you're doing stuff like this and things drop out and you just take your eye off the ball for a second and you forget to put it back in the right place. Right, having said that, I'm now not even sure if I did connect it or not. Why do you have to remove the joystick before putting in the cable? Because it's underneath the joystick. That's the wrong one for that. That's the one for that. I'm having lots of Joey moments here. Tweezers! It's also why I see this. These both get in the way of each other. Oh, especially when it keeps folding down like that. And again, if it was just me, what I would be doing is this would be under the microscope. But I want you to get an overview of what I'm doing rather than just little bits. Okay, joystick is now connected. Let's make sure that that's central again. It is still central, good. And then we will put the screws back in, which has nearly worked as well for the table, because of course, because all the screws now are sticking to the underneath of my arm and they're dropping off when I come off the edge of the table. Yeah, even the joystick ones need a little bit of resin in. It had a bit of a bit of a monster in here undoing it before, I think. Come on. You can't see this bit, I'm just trying to plug the shoulder buttons in again. And it's not fun. I made it look easy the first time. I can assure you that is not the case. Because they're those stupid push things. Okay people, bear with me please. Come along. And because they're so small, you tend to get in your own light when you're trying to do it. Even, no, that's not going to work. Just needs to go in. Come on. No, that's not it. Size deeply. Oh, I've just disconnected the other one. Lucky I didn't rip it. And there it goes again. Hold your breath, people. 1. I don't think having that would be helping either. Right, and come on. Come on. Oh, bugger. You know what I said about being careful and how these easily broke? Well, there you go. So the shoulder buttons won't work for now. I've got to dig one out from somewhere because the ribbon cable just broke. Again, but you've got to remember some of that is because it's old. Okay. Now let's try that again. Right, and now you can see. Oh, that's not good. I haven't done that yet either. Okay, I haven't connected the digitizer up. I'm not thinking my way through this logically at all. Now, what I want to know is, that's better. Okay, now see the... I'll show you the digitizer, so we'll go back again. Now the joystick is in, it's not doing the flicking up and down bit. You can check. And also, the D button contacts need to be removed from the board because it goes one way, not the other. And what happens is, if they don't get used for a long time, or if they've been in a damp environment, then they get corrosion underneath them. Or absolutely MK, of course, always. So we can either take that all apart again now and show you, or we can do that in another stream. Let's have a vote. What would you like to do, people? Do we continue or do we save for another stream? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so we're back here, take the battery out. We've got screws and things over here now, which are not good for the casing. Up to you, I'm still at work. Okay. Disconnect. Take that out of the way. Right. And just so you know, what I should have connected up and haven't yet is the digitizer cable, which is tucked away underneath there, as you can see. Do it all again. Well, we're near enough going to have to do that, Roger. Which is what I said before about having to take things apart over and over, because you put it back together and then discover that you have problems like that. Squishy, I don't know, Squishy, how long were you away for? We've just found out that A, I didn't connect the digitizer, and B, that there's corrosion underneath the pads on the buttons. So the D-pad doesn't work, and the A, B, X and Y buttons don't work quite properly. So what I've got to do now is I've got to take the board back out again, and take the contacts off the back, probably clean them, and then stick them all back on again. So here we go. I'm not going to run away. I'm going to stay here, and we're just going to do it until you lot say, no, I've had enough. Are you alright to feed them? Thank you. So we'll take the SD thingy back off. At least it gave me a chance to put some resin and stuff in the holes first of all, before we put it back together again. I watch while eating food. Okay. Joystick back out again. Take the ball off. Take that off. Undo the joystick. Take it off. Take these out so I don't lose them. Take the Wi-Fi board off so that it doesn't pull the cable off from around the screen. Take the microphone back out, and then I hopefully should be able to show you what corrosion looks like under the contacts as well. Won't that be exciting, people? Yep, that's too big. Official circuit revival, hello. I have no idea who you are. You may be someone I know, but at this point I genuinely have no idea. And then we'll take the bottom screen backlight cable out, like so. And the bottom screen data cable out. And what have I forgotten? Okay, these 4 screws over here. And 2, 3, 4, and then the backlight from there, camera, volume, lifting up, turning over, top screen, disconnect, put that out the way, and then it will come over here. Let's move that slightly. Come over to the microscope. Oh no, did that just seize up? I think it might have done. I think it just threw a bit of a sulk. So we'll just disconnect the mic a minute. You can't see anything, I know. And go back to scope, microscope, wait for it to go live. It's gone live, deactivate, and then activate, and we're back. Okay. So, you have these bits, and we're just going to, what I'll do is, you can actually get the whole replacement sticky pads with the contacts on. What I tend to do is, I just take them off, clean the contacts up, and then use Captain tape to put it back together with. That side's not too bad. You can just about see the where it's been sat around. So like the black bits here are the little holes here where the fluid tends to come through, and then you get tarnishing around there, as you see, tarnishing around there, same there. Just put that out of the way for a minute, and then we'll do the same for this side. I wish I could say that I hadn't had to do this very often, but you'd be amazed. Well, you probably wouldn't be. But and more obvious on this one, again, where it's been left for a while, and then you get the tarnishing build up on the silver here, and it doesn't make contact, like so. So what I tend to do is can't remember if I had to use acetone and polish last time or just acetone, but we'll go with the acetone for now. If it clears off or not. It's possible I'll have to use polish as well. Yep, no, polish. Okay, 2 seconds, peoples. Acetone, by the way, is the major ingredient in a lot of electrical cleaner fluid, which is also why you have to be careful where you use it, because sometimes if it's in places that have tape and things like that, it can just drop apart. We're all about beginning mistakes, believe me. Right, we're still under the scope. So I will take them off of this bit of tape in a minute, just use them to hold them in place. So there is still slight marking there, but it won't stop it making contact now. But as you said, Squishy, they were released in 2011. It's a long time to be in a sweaty teenager or kid's hand and thrown in various cupboards, and yeah, they do suffer a little bit. You're right. Do you need a cup of tea or anything, or? Yeah. Okay. All right, people, I am going to take a 5-minute break after I've cleaned the last one. Go and make a cup of tea for the missus, and yeah, just sort things out a little bit. Oh, Adi says hi, Mandy.
Hi.
Happy wife won't get knifed. So yeah, as you can see, it's a bit cleaner on the I will do the contacts in a minute underneath. Yeah, come out of there. What I need, what did I do with it, is back here. Oh, okay, fine. I will go back to overhead for now. Except that's not the overhead, that's the scope chas. we're not working on a Christmas tree. See, now I understand what all the comments were about. That's the funny looking Christmas tree. Not once did it enter my head that I'd got the wrong thing up. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I'm slow, aren't I? But now I'm going to alter that again. What's the time? 39. Painful. It really is, isn't it? Okay, go and get yourself something to drink, peeps. Okay, I guess I should just check Discord again before I carry on. Oh. Slidey bit. Do not click that. Stroke slidey bit. Do not click that. And at this point, I will come under the microscope. No, I'm going to position it under the microscope.
I'm not insane. My mother had me tested.
Don't even do it.
They're evil.
Oh, I love you guys. Honestly, I do. I really, really do.
Good boy.
Peeps. How about peoples?
I think Ray wants the door.
2 secs.
Come on then. Go see Daddy.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes. Okay. I'm tempted to pick all these screws up again, but I'm not going to, because I'm too lazy and we're going to need them eventually. I also don't want to get them all over the cloth so that I scratch the casing. Hello everyone, I'm back. Hey Juice, how you doing? We're doing something that really isn't very thrilling at the moment.
Well, it's not coming under the microscope anymore.
So we clean those, we can put those out of the way. Hey Alty, hello, how you doing? Going back to sleep. Okay, fair enough, see you later. I mean, you could just stay on the stream and still go to sleep. I wouldn't notice. It's fine. There's people out there living their normal lives. Oh look, Chaz is streaming now. Okay, yep, see him later again. He won't have got any further. Can you get replacement contacts? Yes, you can get replacement contacts and replacement buttons. Yeah, you can do. But for the sake of just using some Captain tape, making sure that the area you're using the Captain tape on is clean, there really isn't too much difference between the two. But if you want to maintain originality and just the way it looks, absolutely, yeah. Right. Not that expensive either off the valley. That's better. And then the other side, which actually wasn't that bad, but I will clean it just for the sake of it. You can actually see just a little bit of discoloration just there. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The ironic thing is that you can buy these consoles and the consoles themselves are still cheaper than the price they ask for the whole motherboard on AliExpress. Especially when you get to the 2DS XL and the 3DS XL. Stupid prices. But again, it wasn't that long ago. They weren't stupid prices. When I was starting out, I brought a couple of 2DS XL boards for about 35 quid, and then literally in the space of 2 or 3 weeks they shot up to about £65–70. Yes. Uber, hello. Hiya, nice to see you. That all looks a bit yucky. The difference is, MK, that Nintendo have got the board views and the circuit diagrams for them. It must be one of the only consoles that it is notoriously impossible to find them for. Well, for me, anyway. Maybe some of you have had better luck, certainly not me. Okay, so that all looks a bit cleaner. Now I will take these off. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those in the acetone a minute. And just let them sit. You know, I said I wasn't going to pick the screws up. Apparently I'm lying.
Okay, doggy races.
Yep. I mean, they're not that bad all in all. Once you've done a few, you know the sort of stuff you're looking for. But if you're taking one apart for the first time, and certainly if you didn't have places like iFixit and so on to be able to rely on, it would be an absolute nightmare. And the 3D XLs and things I got into, and the 2D XLs I got into repairing because somebody was selling a job lot of consoles, and it had bits from all of those and the new 3DSs in. And because I'm dropping most of the screws all over the desk again. I've always said some of my strengths are that I don't like letting things beat me, but my weakness also is I don't like letting things beat me. So I will flog a dead horse until it can't move anymore, and learn in the process, or fail and learn again, I guess. Yeah, the remotes, I mean I do have a Wii, and I have Wiis upstairs that need looking at, but I just haven't. I bought one The dog's going absolutely mental, rushing up and down the lounge here, by the way. So if you can hear sounds, that's what it is. She's
Having happy years.
she's running up and down like slidey bikes. Yeah. The week. Well, oh yeah, and I've got my own. She's off again.
It's good to do these.
Hang on. Don't know if you can.
She stopped now.
What are you doing? What are you doing? No, she just sat down now. She was running her backwards and forwards like a complete loony. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Pick up the cam and she stopped. Because why not? Still picking up screws, by the way. And now she's having a drink in the kitchen. Okay, screws picked up. Tweezers. Just going to take this out of view a minute. I'm currently just peeling the contacts off of the tape. And as you said, I could get new ones of these on, but I find it easier to tape each one on individually. I know it's absolutely going in the right place then. And because I'm too much of a skinflint, I guess, really, is the truth. What are the usual faults? Yeah, what with... Hang on, let me read. Okay, cool. See, not everything is about me. Sometimes it's about chat. I've got a contact stuck to my finger. Yeah, still stuck to my finger. Come on, off. Get. Thank you. Right. Contacts are off. And we just have to remember to put them back in the right place now. Put the acetone back. Get some more tape out. Yeah, official circuit. My sister's other half gave me one to look at, and the corrosion from the battery terminals had gone onto the main board itself and eaten away at all the legs on one of the chips and the board itself. I just told them to throw it away in the end. Right. Okay. Not that one, that one. Smaller contact. Initially one small piece of tape. See now, there I was being really cautious there and thinking I was doing well. Hiya Andy, how you doing? That's alright. Well, we've had it back together and we've proved that it works. But unfortunately, we've had to take it apart again to clean the corrosion up behind the sorry, not corrosion, tarnishing up behind the contacts, which is why it's now all apart again. Such are the joys. Yeah, get off. Oh yes, yeah. If you like switches or just general mayhem and lots of different things to watch, definitely check out Swindon Electronics Repair. And usually we get some comedy with it too, which is nice. Oh, for goodness sake, thank you. Oh, we all know that Andy wants more viewers, really. Andy's begging for more viewers. Andy wants so many viewers he can't spot the regulars amongst them. Oh, that's a problem. That'll teach me to keep my mouth shut. Because I just pinged a couple of the contacts and they've gone, oh, there's one. Okay, let's get these stuck on before I lose any more. I've got no idea where that one went. It could even be stuck to my arm for all I know. asbestos just come trumphing down the stairs again.
That was rowing.
What's interesting is that there actually isn't a word like trumphing, so where that quite came from, I have no idea. Nope, that's not good enough. That's better. Right, because I've just pinged one of these contacts off to God knows where, I've now got to search for one. Found one. Which I have to clean up, unfortunately. But this is off of another, you can't see that, off another one. You can see how common it is. Not the console, obviously, the problem. I won't be so cruel as to call a console common.
Bloody smell.
Sorry for the thud, that was me putting my polish back down right beside the microphone. I'm currently just cleaning the other contact, just so you know. Or I'm torturing gerbils, one of the two. You make your own mind up. Oh, that was that was stuck badly. My apologies. Yeah, that would be torture, wouldn't it? The only good thing about this is I know that all of you are free at any time just to go no and go to another channel. So if you're here, you deserve it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Through there again. Come on. Hang on. I'm not sure, but I don't think that's how Pink Floyd's The Wall went, is it? Leave those gerbils alone. I'm just switching to the microscope. So you can see there that screws have been yeeted in there. Also here, oh yeah, 2, I won't say anything, I might put my family in danger. Right, okay, out with the resin again. I predict right. I predict right. Well, if you insist, Swindle and you'd be the supporting character in the Mission Impossible movies. Is that Mission Impossible or Mission Improbable? Oh, I've done it again. There it is. Couldn't remember where I put it. The resin. Couldn't remember where I put the resin. This is true. He has been in a lot of movies, hasn't he? I thought he played Scotty really, really well. In fact, I thought that most of the characters in the prequels were really good at portraying the people that had been playing them. But then I am a bit of a Trekkie. Oh God, MK! We should create a game where you kill resin called Resident Evil. Well, surely by the nature of that name you wouldn't be killing them, you'd be just been making holes in them, i.e. dents. He is very quick, isn't he? He's even better at the dad jokes and, well, I wouldn't say I was good at the dad jokes, he's just good at dad jokes. Oh gosh, I need some more. Squishy, MK is too quick. MK, have you been talking to my wife again? Since my one stopped talking to me, I have to practice on myself. And we're back to tugging again. Just like that, in one simple sentence. Okay, that and that I'm going to need doing. Over here, what about these? That looks like it might need some too. I'm trying to remember. I think it's just these ones down here actually. It is just these ones down here. Need to be careful I don't go over the top. A little bit more in there because we're going to have to re-drill these out again afterwards. I knew I recognised you, MK. Is my mic in another room? No, so the trouble is I'm talking pointing the wrong way. instead of talking pointing this way. I mean, if I'm pointing this way, it probably helps, right? I mean, you can hear me, you know, so good enough, really. And I'm not speaking that loudly either. Sorry for thinking that time you were an old lady. It's the thighs that confused me. Not only the thighs, it's the lack of hair as well. I have probably got the most unhairiest legs for a bloke you have ever seen. And ever likely to see. And ever likely not to see, actually. But yeah, well, there you go. Do I shave them?
No.
Prove it. No, I don't shave them, no. No, I'm quite happy to prove it. I'm not shy about that whatsoever. I used to have slightly hairy legs. And then one day, on one of my legs, to prove a point that waxing wasn't painful, I put wax strips on my leg and took them off, and it took the hairs off, and I was right. For me, it wasn't painful, but the hair never grew back on there. And then the little hair I did have when I had the chemo came off, and it never really made much of an attempt to grow back again. My hair changed to dress from my hair to my back. Yeah. See, that was the other thing. After chemo, I know, I keep going.
Get too graphic.
No, I'm not. No, God, no. No, we're not going there, it's fine. But obviously I lost on my hair. When my hair grew back, it was black, luxuriant and curly. Really, really curly. Like a sheep kind of curly.
That's cute.
And the wife loved it. I hated it. And after I cut it the first time, it didn't come... Well, it's slightly curly, but it's also thinned out a lot since then as well. So, yeah. Like it being reset. Yeah, exactly. For a short amount of time. Just enough to make you hopeful. And then it went poof. Is that, or is that not good? That's okay. That's okay. That one's not. Okay. So for a while I was indeed curly cow. I hate my chest hair and back. I could shave it every day and make a carpet for a mansion each day. I just embrace it at this point. But they do say, don't you, that the hairier you are, theoretically, the more testosterone you have, the more virile you have.
No.
Oh no, except for the head. If you're bald, that's also supposed to be a sign of virility.
Men will believe any crap.
But apparently men will believe any... I can't say the word. That my missus just said. Yeah, thank you, MK. What, a bit like soft cow you mean the other day? Yes. Yeah, hair in the ears and the nose. Yeah, I could do without that. Right, how can I do this? I don't even... Right. I don't even know if it'll focus. There's a little bit. That's it. That's all you get. Can you see that? Or is that too close or... See? Just nothing. What, you're suggesting that someone's secretly lasered me? Hairdressers with freaking lasers on them. MK, because did you just show us a store-bought chicken? Let's show them my leg.
Nobody here just does chicken.
Nobody here just does chickens. Okay, I tell you what. No, we'll put the board back in first. We will put the board back in. This time I'll do it the other way around. So where am I? At the moment on my microscope, we don't want to be there any longer. Let me put that on projector screen so I can see exactly what you can see. Not a lot. Oh, that's my other. That's for my other job. Okay, now we want the camera. Feed back in there. You know what? I can't actually see it this time. I've gone 3DS blind. Okay, that one. Backlight.
You're a cat.
Yeah, I can as well. Come along. Okay, we're not going to do that yet because what I haven't done yet is one, put the top screen back in again. And two, oh, that's typical. You can't see it, but I've just got the duster stuck on the flipping Wi-Fi cable. All that effort I made to keep it in the right place, and it won't let go. That was definitely someone knocking on the door.
No, it wasn't.
No? I reckon that was just the wind going full crikey.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Try that again. Flip it over like so. Yeah, MK, we might have gone a bit feral on your general channel the other day. Very, very slightly. Just taking the grinding bit out of the grinding pen and changing it for a small drill. Oh, look at me half in shadow. $256 unread messages. Oh, 225 unread messages. drill, and we don't want that grinding bit. Teeny tiny drill. It is in fact small, but you can't see it because you can't see what I'm doing at the moment. You might be able to, just a little bit. This bit here. And then putting the drill into the grinding bit. Hoping that the absolutely, completely, utterly okay. Okay, if you don't like dentists, board back over. I don't quite know what's going on here, but I seem to be moving further and further back, and yet this hasn't moved. It's very strange. No, it hasn't. It's not acceptable though. How can that be the case? This arm needs to be just a little bit longer. I mean, I'm sure you could see more than that earlier. Okay, stop talking, Chaz. Put that back in there. Insert. IPA out of the way. Talk in a monotone. No inflection in your voice whatsoever. Bueller. Ouch! Tweeze it into the finger. At least there was some emotion. Move everything out of the way. All those screws that I put down most carefully this time were not put down as carefully as I thought they were. Oh, check that that's on the right side. It is, luckily, because that's just pure coincidence. I wasn't looking when I put it in. Oh. I can almost hear the clips. Yes, you really should look when you put it in to avoid mistakes. Success is not always guaranteed. Enthusiasm does not equal accuracy. Checking. Okay. I have actually managed, again, in fact not just one but several this time. I've just been knocking them all over the place. Oh, and losing them apparently. And look at that. There's the screen. Bother. Why don't you tell me when you can't see things? Jazz is talking away, working off of the screen, but me. Okay, screen and backlight. So that's the problem, Worms. I obviously wasn't looking when I put it in. Digitizer cable this time. Let's remember to, yeah, there you go. Digitizer cable is there. So we'll put this small screw back in. You may not, but you might signpost someone to do so, Squishy. I know you. And I think you're being sarcastic, and that I've only just got that you're being sarcastic. Apparently, I'm not very good at picking up on sarcastic lately. I'm going to take that one back out because I'm not happy with that. I'm trying to look up at the screen every now and then so you don't just look at my bald bit, by the way. What are you laughing for now? Okay, that's not very good, but it'll do. Okay. Yeah. I think Bodger is on the cusp of being a little bit better than I am at sarcasm. I'm absolutely sure that this arm isn't going back in. Hang on a minute, peoples. Because I'm positive. I'm not finishing that sentence. There you go. Now we're back in the table properly. No, I won't ever look in Discord. Don't go there. I've heard bad things happen in Discord. Okay, so white one, black washer, SD, no, that's the wrong way, you pillock. Bottom screen. It's amazing that I can know so much and apply so little. data cable for the bottom screen. Pico, hello. Welcome to the Molasses channel. You know that theory they say that everything moves if you watch it for long enough? This is that channel. Things do happen, just not in a rush. That's what she said. And possibly even what I've said. Okay. Joystick. Okay, and then we need to affix this one. He said using a careful choice of words. Oh, do you know what? That's still rubbish. Okay. Again, I'm not going to put the screws in that because I am going to have to fercle it. Joystick, can we do this correctly? No, that's in the wrong place. That's what she said. All we want to do is see the thing working properly. And we can drop the stream and run away screaming. I will not abandon it until that point. Okay. So, just in case anyone that's in stream has watched all those videos before where they get the 3DS and say, we're going to mend a 3DS today. And go, bum, 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 bum. Yes, we have to redo that, and then 2 minutes later it's all done. This is the reality of the situation, quite a lot of the time. Where you get to watch someone fumbling awkwardly over and over and over again. And you probably never will now, Squish. Okay, so we've got the Wi-Fi card back on. This is roughly in place. Roughly. That one, digitizer. I need to do the digitizer this time. Let's not forget to do the digitizer.
Slider.
Oh yeah, and the slider in the top, thank you. I apologise for the quality of the scope pictures. I'm just doing it in OBS. Normally I'd be using Hey software, which seems to give a much better quality output. Oh, God forbid I get this in straight away, is what she said. And I've got shaky hands going on now as well. No coffee, just tea.
Finished.
For anyone that just went deaf, I apologise. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Is that for you?
Probably.
Okay, we're not going to bother connecting them up because obviously I've got to replace the other one yet. Okay, so digitizer is in. You can't see that because we're on the wrong one again. No, we don't want that one either. Rusty Rush repairs. Oh Lord, we need to set up a limiter in that mic. Scared the out of me. Sorry, Russ. I do apologise. Okay, now let's see if we have any more luck. Plug the charger in. Zoom out. Okay. Fingers crossed. Green light. Okay. So that much works. And I've not got the volume knob in correctly, but that's all right because we've got to take it apart again. Screen works okay. Arrow button works okay. Let's put that back on again. Up, down, up, down. Joystick works okay. And can't really chest load from there. Where do we go from there? I can't remember. That was internet, I think. No, it's one of the later ones. I mean, it's got the really early firmware on it, I think. Yeah, happy birthday, Rusty Russ. Data management, go back. Microphone works. Circle pad. Which is a bit slimy underneath and he's doing. Next. Works. Back. Close. And then the last thing we need to check here. Well, not the last thing, we need to check games work in it as well. Camera. Camera works there, and if we switch to the inner one, ugh! Yeah, the inner one works as well. So basically all I've got to do is redo some of the holes that the screws go into. I've got to stick this on after I've cleaned all the screen and everything up to make sure that it's as clean as it can be, which can take me a while sometimes. Find the correct screws to put back in and also put some more resin in some of the holes for the screws. But yeah, basically that's that. I don't know if you've learned anything from that. I know it's taken a long time. I hope it helps. What I didn't do, and I will do now, is show you the fuse positions, just so you know. So we'll go back to the microphone. I use another board. No, we won't go back to the microphone because we can't look at it on the microphone. Okay, so we're back here. What is that? Oh, it's a switch. The switch has fallen off the board, that's fine. Okay, so fuses. Turn over the other side. That's the button which I've taken the front contact off because it was mucking about. But a fuse is just here. You can't, hang on, because I'm not zoomed in very closely. This is the fuse here for the battery. Yes, that's correct. And then up here for the charge, you can see it actually quite clearly says, here's the fuse, and then there's your words have gone out. It's an inductance. It's basically one path goes through one side, the other path goes to the other side. You shouldn't have any readings diagonally across it. Power IC, and then somewhere up here is that the inverse sensor. I think this one is the movement IC. And then obviously you've got your SD card one, your joystick one. We'll do back to the bottom again just to show you these again. Bottom screen, data line, filter. Thank you, Squishy. Bottom screen, backlight line, top screen, backlight, sound, and 3D button, which I still have to put the slider in for, but you don't need to see that. Top camera ribbon, top screen. Oh, chicken leg man. And I think, yeah, obviously your contacts and things. No doubt in future we'll get to look at something else. Sometimes you need to check, where are we? Turn it round, back over here again. These are your power and charge lights and hello, something's going wrong lights. Sometimes you can turn the board on when you're just checking it off without any screens or on, and nothing will come on. It's always worth checking to make sure that the LEDs come on in diode mode, which we'll do quickly, I guess. I do, yeah. I've got one, that the green one, which I've put on there before, that needed the new lens. Swap round. And I've got one which I'm going to put the later type screen on. Is it actually doing anything? Can't see. No, it's not. Are we on diode check? We are. These should be lighting up, believe it or not. And it can't just be that the first board I go to has got 41s on. Check this one over here. Oh yeah, they are. They're actually 40. So yeah, so you can get them to light up in diode mode. Yes, my multimeter normally lights them up. Yeah, absolutely. And also up here, although I can never remember which point to start off on. Green, orange, and then red up here as well. So yeah, let's have a quick look at that. Face. Do we have a face? No, we don't have a face. Overhead. Back to here again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I will finish this thing off stream and then put some photographs up for you to have a look at. I'll tell you what, no, we haven't quite got there, have we? Because we haven't proved that all the functions work on it yet. And you might need to put some IPA or clean the contacts off the first time you do this. But it is actually working straight away on this. As you can see, amazing. So that out and again, I won't play it just in case we break any copyrights, and also check that the SD works. Yes, SD over this side. So obviously everything's falling apart at the moment because I don't have any screws in underneath here. I have, as they say, got a few screws loose. Right, protection is enabled. That might not be the case. Sometimes if you get a faulty card reader, you'll get the same error. I might need to swap it. Or it could just be that the plug's not in properly. SD card has been removed. Yeah, I know that. I'm going to put it back in again, so if we go over to settings and open, other settings, no, Chaz, you're leading everyone up the garden path here. Close. If it is reading it now, we'll know in a minute. By going back to camera, and then going into settings, save location, SD card is not coming up. So I still might need to fiddle with that yet, I don't know. Let's try another SD card. It's quite possible that having fiddled around, I might, because it's not screwed in underneath, I might have just knocked the plug out. So I will check that in a minute. But yes, for now, I think that will do. I hope you learnt something and that you didn't all fall asleep to it. And thank you very much, people. Yes, and Mrs. Hockhouse, it was. Yes, thank you very much. Hour 15 at work, let's go. Well, I'm glad we filled the time in for you, MK, and look forward to talking to you in chat in a minute. But for now, we're going to bow out of the stream, say thank you very much for everyone for joining. It's been really nice to have you here, and look forward to some more in the future. Thank you very much, people. Thank you. Have a good evening or a good morning or a good day, whatever you're doing. And yeah, keep lucky. See you all later. Bye.